Jane Musky, production designer on Notorious.
My job, I start very early on, and I also define an overall scheme of how a picture is going to look and feel. So I get very involved with the director of photography and the costume designer and the director, and really setting up a look that involves color, costumes, atmosphere, encompasses the DP's lighting, and sort of rhythms of how things are shot, with rhythms of what I do with pattern and color and things. This one's very deep, and this one actually worked, we think, because we got a chance to follow it through with great discipline. And what we've basically done was set out beats in this movie and Christopher's life, and took those beats and separated them into color palettes. What we decided was Brooklyn was always going to be his safe place. Warm tones, not a lot of reflection. Everything was very kind of easy to the eye, but fun also. Like the guys on the street on Fulton Street, was going to be a lot of fun, because they were characters playing dice, lots of graffiti. Then we had his movement into what we called the Notorious years, which was him evolving from Christopher into Biggie. And what we did was we took all of the warm tones, the easy stuff from his neighborhood, and sort of started leaving it aside by adding in more sharp colors and more reflective textures on surfaces and costumes and stuff. And we started moving that very delicately into the height of Notorious, which is the Georgia Dome concert, which is the total flash of who he became with the gold, great clothes. So it was this kind of evolution of leaving Brooklyn. But every time we go back to Brooklyn during the timeline of our movie, we go back to this safe haven. Like, never in Brooklyn will you see any red. As he builds into Notorious, the red starts to appear more and more, where the Georgia Dome, the records that the DJ has are red records. And as we get into LA, reflections of red headlights. And we're actually going to wet down all the streets in LA, so we see the reflection of red lights a lot. The gun being put together on a red cloth. So it's a very choreographed movie that way, look-wise. It's like a map, this whole thing, and I think it's worked well.
Brooklyn in the house, you heard? NotoriousBlog.net.